you were inadvertently responsible for the breakup of Chyna and Triple H and the jump from Triple H to Stephanie. I know you're probably going to end up back at the WWE one day, so you don't want to give too much details on this. But what was the backstage environment like during all that? Because I hear that just broke Chyna.
Hunter really owes you.
I know. I feel terrible. I really seriously do. And you know, when I've told other guys in the business this story, they're like, "You bastard." I'm like, I know, because a lot of people look to the you know, kind of when Triple H and Stephanie were running things is like, you know, a really rough time. Things are much better now. And obviously it's a you know, it's a whole different environment. And everything did work out between Triple H and Stephanie, and I guess they were meant to be together, and they've been married for all these years and have kids together. But it was the simple thing of my wife and I both being soap opera fans. And we're talking one night about the thing with you know, the upcoming wedding with Stephanie and Test. And I was like, you know, this is soap opera, something's got to happen. And so my wife throws out, you know, she's like, isn't Triple H involved? And I was like, yeah, well, what if Triple H somehow, you know, swerved everybody and wound up marrying Stephanie? And I was like, oh my God, that would be like classic soap opera, you know. How do you get there? And then I kind of like framed it out. And at the time, open submission, there wasn't a writing team. There were writers, there were people in, you know, that were helping to put the shows together. But if you had an idea, you could submit it. So I go into the office and I write this, you know, pretty lengthy email. Here's an idea that I have. And it was it's one of those things. And the first response I get was from Vince, and in all caps, all it said was, you know, because I emailed everybody. I Vince, JR, Kevin Dunn, Shane, blah, 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 this one, that one. And all Vince said was, that's great shit. In all caps. And then Shane, who was in charge of .com at the time, he's on the same floor of the office that I am. He runs down. He leans into my office and, dude, that idea is crazy. I love it. And they wound up taking their own direction with it. But I had no idea that it was going to affect the real life relationship between Chyna and Triple H. Obviously, you don't, when you put something out there like that, you think of these people as characters on a TV show, and you don't take into account what could be a real life human impact by it. So I did feel, you know, kind of bad when all that, you know, came about. It certainly wasn't the intent, but you forget, hey, listen, Triple H is Triple H, whether he's in the ring or he's, you know, going and getting coffee, and Chyna's Chyna, even though her name was Joni Lauer, you know, and they had a real life relationship as Joni and Paul, but it's just one of those things that happens. But yeah, Steve Corino was always one to point that out too, by the way. I do want that fact known, that he was part of that guilt trip. You did it. Yeah, I don't know. I did it.
Changed the course of wrestling.
It did.
There you go.